I'm wondering if, like, it's the Gallimimuses in Jurassic Park that are running through the field with Alan Grant and the kids. What if you put NOS tanks on those Gallimimuses? How fast do you think they would go? Would that be even more awe-inspiring and impressive?
Alan.
What's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. Central Time here on the Cinefanatics channel. That means it must be time for the tagline, the show where the tagline is the title. I am half of your host. I am Robert Adams.
I'm the other half. I'm Chris Adams.
And together we are the Cinefanatics. No relation. Anyway, no, wait, there is actually a relation. We're brothers. Doesn't make any sense. Thanks, Tiny Toon, for completely warping my vocabulary and my sentence structure for the rest of my life. I'm about to be a 40-year-old man who still says Tiny Toon references. Anyways, how are we doing tonight, everyone? We got a lot of people already joining us in the chat. You know, it pleases my heart seeing everyone's in the chat as we start the show. Fantastic. Thank y'all for being here. I see Vernon. I see Tyler. I see Garth. Thank y'all for being here tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun.
I see London. I see France. That's all.
We're in Texas. How are you seeing, like, countries over on the other side of the ocean?
First of all, Paris is in Texas. I got nothing for London.
There might be a London, Texas, too. This is a really huge state. I mean,
welcome to Geography Fanatics. We're going to talk about
fanatics.
We're going to talk about geographers, geography, and where things are located.
I mean, at some point in this, we are actually going to talk about that, so that's kind of interesting.
That's some good water.
Yeah. Right. That's fantastic. Anyways, again, thank y'all for being here. Y'all know how it is at the beginning of the show. Y'all got questions, comments, anything y'all want to throw our way, make sure you drop it in the streamlabs.com/cinefanatics. You could also do super chat on YouTube, but Streamlabs is the most preferred venue for that. The other thing is make sure you like the video. What other YouTube stuff do we have to do? Make sure you like the video, comment if you're watching us on a replay.
Look, y'all been on YouTube before. You know how everything goes. You know what to do. Just do all the things if you haven't done them already. You know how it goes.
Yeah, but usually the way I use YouTube is after I'm done watching the video, I go cook whatever it was I saw them making on that video. I'm not cooking anything in this channel.
Which makes it really awkward in this apartment when you just get done watching cat videos.
It does. Lola was the pick of the litter, I would say.
I have to console her. Tell her it's not because of her. It's not because of her. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Anyway,
this is fantastic comedy.
I like to think so.
I do too.
Like to think so.
The other one I'm going to point out again, top of the show, as always, patreon.com/cinefanatics. Hop on the tier that is good for you and your bank account. But I will tell you benefits to that. Not only do you get access to the Discord, we're trying to build like a movie loving community over there. So $1 you get on that at the Neo tier. The $5 Dude tier, you get to join us for movie watch alongs. Usually once a month. The watch along for this month will be tomorrow night. And it's going to be a fun one because we're going to have a special guest with us.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. So for tomorrow night, we will be doing a watch along, continuing our way through the MCU for funsies. We will be doing Thor, and we will be joined by Miss Kelsey Kirkland from Call to Action's YouTube channel. Apparently she's a big fan of Thor or something related to Thor, so she will be joining us tomorrow night to talk about Thor. Although she's probably just gonna talk about Loki.
We're all fans of Thor, but some of us are a little bit more fans than others of Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd bring an expert on.
Yeah. I saw a image earlier. I think it was earlier today. Someone posted an image somewhere on social media where it was a picture of Sebastian Stan and Tom Hiddleston, and the caption for it was like, "Yeah, so we both auditioned for the lead role in our Marvel movies, and we got the like secondary role, and still managed to take over the whole thing, anyways." I was like, okay. With Loki, definitely. Winter Soldier, hit or miss.
He's got his own show.
Yeah, well, because Captain America does not do a TV show. That's why we've got the crappy Captain America on this TV show.
You're not talking about Anthony Mackie. He's not talking about Anthony Mackie, y'all. Anthony Mackie's not the crappy Captain America. He's talking about Johnny Walker over there, whatever his name is.
Johnny Walker. If only he would be labeled as a black, red, blue label, whatever.
Calling him Johnny came to mind. I don't know why. It's
a good one.
We know.
Speaking of which, not on our Patreon, but coming up this coming Friday, that will be the 23rd, we are doing our breakdown of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, better known as Fat Wuss. That will be this coming Friday. It is the finale episode. We are all super hyped to see John Walker get his buttocks handed to him yet again. I cannot wait for this. So this is going to be a really good episode. Yeah. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe we see him get his butt handed to him this time by Carly. That could be fun.
Ooh. Yeah.
Ooh, is that controversial what I just said? Am I rooting for the terrorists to beat up the red-blooded American? You bet your butt I am. Let's see this happen. See how everyone explodes on Twitter. That's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah. Anyways.
I hate the internet sometimes. I really do.
Anyways, so that is coming up this Friday. Again, it's the finale. Cannot wait for that. So make sure you come join us for that. That will be, I don't think there's nothing else going on Friday that's postponing that, right?
No, not this Friday, no.
Okay. So that will be this coming Friday at, it's going to be 9 Central, so 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. The next thing that's coming up is coming up this coming Sunday. And man, it got here really quick. That will be the Oscars, the Academy Awards. The 93rd Academy Awards is coming up this Sunday. It should have happened like 2 months ago.
Yeah. I was going to say, now you say it came up quick, but it's also been delayed.
Yeah. I mean, it came up quick since the announcement of the nominations, because I still have not managed to watch all the Best Picture nominees.
And I definitely haven't.
Don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it by this Sunday because reasons.
Time, it's not on your side. No, it isn't.
Ooh, Fallen. That's a good movie. I need to watch that one again too. Anyways, thanks for the reference and reminding me of that fantastic movie. Anyway, so Oscars this coming Sunday, they are going to be live at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern on ABC. So we will be doing our annual watch along of it. We're going to do it a little bit different this year. Last year, I believe we both sat on our couch in the living room and I pulled out a TV and cable box and we watched it that way. And we muted the TV, or we muted ourselves during it, so you couldn't actually hear us talking while the show was on. We're doing it this way this year. It's going to be in StreamYard. We're going to be live. We're going to be talking the entire time because we'll have the Oscars streaming like off to the side through headphones. So no risk of copyright anything really happening.
And here's the thing, like, for those of you guys who've been watching us for a while, you've been hanging out with us for a while, you'll know that the Oscar watch along is something that we've been doing over the last few years, and it has steadily improved in terms of how we do it. I think the first year we tried to set up a janky microphone. Honestly, we didn't even do a watch along the first year. We just did a pre-show and a post-show. Yeah. And then the next year we did the living room setup or something. Or I know we did one year we did a pre-show, post-show living room setup and your old house. And then we did one in a friend's house, and then we did one.
Then there was one the last year.
we did the watch along here in the living room. Now we're just like, you know what? Flip on StreamYard. Let's just go. And it's going to be the cleanest thing we've ever done Oscar-wise. And I love it.
Which hopefully that means we're building up to next year. We're going to be live on the red carpet, interviewing the celebrities as they come down. Probably not.
Oh, if only. No.
Goals.
We'll be live in the audience with a camera on us. And we'll probably get kicked out for doing that.
We'll do the what was it, late to the party at the Schmodown live event when they were introducing the 5 horsemen. They're like filming themselves. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Anyways, so moving on. That's when it is though. It's Sunday, April 25th. That's the times and everything. Yeah, so we will be going live at 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. So basically that means we're going to be live for about 30 minutes before the actual show starts. So kind of collecting our thoughts and catching the last few people coming down the red carpet going, ooh, that's a pretty dress, or
last minute predictions, theories, things. What's going to happen? Yeah, who's going to pop in instead of having a host who's going to show up and make dumb jokes between each award?
And that'll probably still happen in some form, even though they don't have an official host. But
it's going to be Zoom too, isn't it?
I feel like it's going to be probably the same way the Golden Globes were done, which means they're going to give Daniel Kaluuya an award, and we're not going to hear him.
Oh, can we just get back to normal?
Yeah. Everyone go wear your masks so we can all get back to normal. I know y'all are all fans of us, so you're wearing your masks, so cool.
Wear your masks, get shot, whatever.
Get your shot, not get shot.
Medically get your shot.
Anyways, so that being said, happy 420, everybody. Today is April 20th, and unfortunately we don't have like any big, like, I guess 420 type news. But it is 420. It is fun to talk about. And again, we're not able to do we're not able to do full on.
So Shug said, "Hi, Chris, my favorite Adams." Shug, I'd like to take a moment and say that you're my favorite Shug.
Well, the other Shug dangles Vanilla Ice off a balcony, is currently in prison right now. So yeah, he's your favorite Shug by default. I mean,
well, I like to think I put some thought into choosing him as my favorite Shug.
Yeah. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, today is 420. So again, because so that means a lot to me, Chris. Because it is 420 and because we're not able to do ranking videos right now, just again, go back to personal stuff. We're shorthanded at work right now. I am pulling a ton of overtime. I don't have time to be editing videos. I have time to sit down, turn on the camera, and hit go live on StreamYard. So that's what y'all are getting right now. Otherwise, I would have loved to have done like maybe a Cinefanatics like top 10 stoner movies. So I will keep that in mind for next year, because I don't expect to be in this same position next year. Anyways, it's like, what's so special? It's just it's kind of the same like non-special day for us here in Texas as well. Although we did have a representative, I read today a representative did submit legalization papers again, like trying to make it legalized. I feel like we do this like every like 6 weeks. There's a new representative of somewhere in the state that's trying to legalize it in Texas.
We've done this dance before.
Yeah. So eventually it will. I still am holding on to the ideas that it's probably going to be legalized federally before it's legalized in Texas. So
I mean, probably.
It's
probably true.
So yeah. I would like to do a ranking of stoner movies, but again, we don't have the time, and we'll be quite honest. Not really, I would say either of us are really like full-on stoners anyways, but we do enjoy the humor.
You're a part-time stoner? You said full-on.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to say that I don't ever partake. So I do enjoy if I have access. But
when he's in California or Colorado,
Absolutely. When I legally have access, just in case my bosses are watching our live stream, when I have access and I'm in those places, I do like partaking because I can legally do so, not in the state of Texas.
No.
Well, that's the appropriate way to answer.
No.
Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey.
Um,
Smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed. Yeah, right.
Anyways, so that being said, Chris, do you happen to have, even though you are not a stoner yourself, do you happen to have a particular stoner type movie that you like?
Well, if we go based on an idea that we're kind of the umbrella of stoner movies includes just the goofiest, dumbest comedies, road trip type comedies too. I mean, all those kind of get folded in there if you want to. I would say one of my favorite, really just like dumb movies is Grind, and I consider that a stoner movie. It's more skateboard culture, which it's a little give and take there, but it's pretty funny. It's one I've enjoyed for years. Outside of that, like, don't look to me to be the guy who's gonna come out here with all like the stoner comedies and go, these are some of my favorite movies. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them are pretty funny, but they're not like, that's not necessarily my cup of tea specifically.
Yeah. So I would have to say my favorite like stoner comedy is I'll probably have to go with Pride and Prejudice. That was a hilarious stoner comedy. Every time I've watched that movie while imbibing, it's the funniest thing ever. Actually, no, that's a terrible stoner comedy.
Oh, that's great. All right, moving on. Yeah, that's a good answer. Here we go.
No, and those of y'all in the chat, if y'all want to drop, it looks like Rachel here is saying Flintstones.
I like that. That's pretty good.
That is kind of a good one. I will probably have to go with, like, I do enjoy, Brian Nussbaum is saying Half Baked and Harold and Kumar. Those are two of my favorites, actually. I would probably also go with almost anything Kevin Smith.
Wait a minute. So if we're considering Flintstones a stoner comedy, does that make it Yabba Doobie Doo?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Good night, everybody. I'm out. Yeah.
Like how you fix your shirt.
I didn't want people seeing my crack.
Just in case.
Yeah.
That's why you're supposed to wear sweatpants with like the elastic waistband and
I need some sweatpants. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm. Sweatpants are nice. Sweatpants are awesome.
Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, that is today. So happy 420, everybody. The other thing, Crucible is the best stoner movie. Oh, God. The other thing that I kind of want to mention here, just because this is important, and I'll actually tie it into why this is related, at least to us and the tagline, is we're not going to dwell on this too much because I just don't want to give this guy that much attention. But the court case that was, we got the verdict today, and the, I guess, defendant was found guilty on all counts. This is a fantastic. I love that this is the way this turned out, because I have been watching it like at work, reading the news and trying to keep up to date with this trial. This is fantastic news. I know there's a lot more to it. We still have to go through sentencing. Apparently there was some kind of representative, I guess, over the weekend that was trying to mobilize crowds to be louder, and they're afraid that she could have potentially swayed the jury. Like, there's a whole mess of what's going on. There's definitely going to be mistrials and stuff thrown out. But I love that this is a step in the right direction for justice, for the way the police should be working and behaving. And I hope that this grows into something that we as a people can follow and trust.
Yeah.
the reason I bring this up on tagline is when this video, the original video, so this incident happened on Memorial Day of last year. The next day, Tuesday, again, we're doing tagline. That was the day we were doing the tagline, and we were joined by Sean Chandler, another popular movie YouTuber. Right before we went live, I watched the video, that 9-minute, 29-second long video. I watched that and I was so upset. Like I was completely pissed over what I saw in that video. And that was a bad decision to watch that right before going live. So I had to quickly pull it together, because we had one of my favorite guests that we've ever had on the tagline. We had him on there, and it was a blast talking to him, and I wanted to make sure like I was up to date. Plus I didn't want this douchebag and his options, or what he decided to do with his life, to have any effect on me and what I was doing that night. So extremely happy how the court case came down today. Hopefully it all continues to go in line with justice. So I'll end it with like a rest in peace, George Floyd. I don't believe the death is in vain, and Black Lives Matter. So
here's the thing. We all know this. It's the first step. It's not. Yeah. I see some people talking about this on Twitter where they're going, great, we solved racism. No, racism has not been solved. Racism is still prevalent. And it's awful. And we see it in action. Today, we see justice served for one of the situations in racism that causes just the worst outcome. And that's within police brutality. We see justice given towards police brutality today. This hopefully rings as a message going forward for a lot of people within the uniformed law enforcement services, all that kind of stuff, that they know going forward, this kind of thing, this behavior, this overstepping your boundaries, this thinking yourself to be judge, jury, and executioner in the moment, that's no longer allowed. That is no longer, it was never acceptable, honestly. It was never acceptable to the rest of us. It might have been acceptable to them within their ranks, but it's not acceptable to the rest of us. And they now need to know that. So it's the first step. It's the first step in a long road of seeing these kinds of situations turned around and accountability starting to be held. So again, like you said, rest in peace to George Floyd. Hopefully his family has some measure of peace today. I know it's not gonna make up for the loss of his life, but I hope like some measure of peace is given to them today, and that we see greater accountability taken in the future. And yes, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Let's talk about movies some more. Over the past week, have you been able to enjoy any new movies? And again, those of y'all in the chat, sound off with like if y'all seen any new movies lately. Not even for y'all in the chat, not even if it's been the past week. If you've seen a really good movie for the first time and you just want to scream from the hills for people to watch this movie, let us know what it is. Sound of Music. I know.
I was trying to think about how to make that joke. The hills are alive.
Oh God. Those hills are like, wow.
The sound of whatever the hell just happened to my voice. No, I don't think I watched anything new. I think lately, the past week or so, anytime I've gotten to watch a movie, I've been more in the mood to throw on something I love, throw on something I've seen before and have enjoyed. I know, like, in recent times, I've rewatched a couple of my favorites, both in La La Land, obviously, and Moneyball. And both of those have been, like, just the best in terms of comfort movies. they didn't both happen within the last week. I know La La Land was probably like a couple weeks ago, but regardless, that's kind of been more so where I've been lately, is rewatching some comfortable classics for myself rather than venturing into something new. Venturing into new things, though, will be happening very soon for reasons.
Oh yeah, definitely reasons. The only one I've actually been able to watch brand new this past week was I've been catching up. I've been watching Scrubs again, like as I was going to bed. So I happened to notice on Hulu they had So I Married an Axe Murderer. And I've been wanting to watch that. Like, I heard it was like really like a lot of campy fun. Classic Mike Myers, where he's pretty much every single one of his vocal personalities, whether it's Austin Powers. Well, I don't know if he really goes Austin Powers, but Austin Powers, like especially his father, sounds exactly like Shrek in that movie. So I caught that for the first time. That was really good. I enjoyed that movie. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, that was the only one I've really been able to watch lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jake Iacovetta saying, yeah, we don't, yeah, we're good mama's boys. We don't ever cuss. Yeah. Never.
Yeah. Jake. Got so used to y'all cussing. This isn't cool. Jake, shut the up, dude. Seriously. Wait, what just happened? Did I cut off?
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I think your mic's broken.
Yeah. Who knew? It got broken at just the right time, apparently. Who knew?
Speaking of broken.
Yeah. When's that new chair coming in?
As of right now, I have it down that the new chair should be in, I believe, Thursday.
Ooh. So in time for next week.
Yeah, but that means I'm still sitting in the broken chair during the watch along tomorrow night.
Oh,
so, yay.
And for the Oscars. Oh.
No, it'll be in on Thursday.
Oh, Thursday.
Yeah.
I forgot what day it was. Today's Tuesday, guys. Would you look at that?
Yeah. Oh, so should be fine.
Oh my gosh, can we just continue the show, please? Oh my gosh, my head. Oh no. What's wrong with me?
Anyways, guys, let's move on to some movie news. First, right off the bat, this is going to be a quick one because I feel like we've talked about this before. I feel like we've reported this. But Michael Keaton has been confirmed for being in the Flash movie. Was this not confirmed when we were originally talking about it?
I don't know. I thought it was. There was an image out there. I don't know if it was. I don't know if that image was like storyboarding, if it was like, drawing out whatever the term is for that. My mind's not working right now. Or if it was something that Boss Logic gentleman kind of threw together himself online, since he likes to put together a bunch of like really cool images and flash them up on Twitter. And yes, I did use Flash on purpose there. But yeah, no, I thought it was confirmed also, but I guess it was only like heavily rumored at that time.
Okay. Yeah, it's like Garth saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, now, if they stop saying y'all, it would make front pages cussing out so much.
Look, y'all.
Y'all know we're from Texas, right, y'all?
Y'all cut that out, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this was confirmed, so we pretty much covered like everything that I was really thinking about this. I'll reiterate, like the all-encompassing idea is I really hope that this leads into like a potential Batman Beyond live-action movie with Michael Keaton playing old man Bruce Wayne to a younger Terry McGinnis Batman. That would be awesome. Yeah, I would love that.
I think you got room there. Yeah, I mean, we definitely have talked about this before. It definitely came up before, because this is where we were kind of. This is the first time I think we were talking about the fact that the DCEU, every movie that DC's ever produced, going back to the '60s Batman, the '70s Superman, the the 90s Batman movies there, like all of this, 89 Batman and 90s Batmans, all of this is within the umbrella of the DCEU now, theoretically, because of multiverse stuff, which is absolutely nuts, because that means these studios are now trusting the audience to get it when they present a story, which they have not done before because they didn't trust the audience to get it before. And I don't know if that trust is you really should trust the audience quite yet, but I know for those of us who really enjoy like comic book storylines and whatnot, we understand. So hopefully they are able to present things like this in a cool way that excites general audiences as well as comic book nerds like the rest of us.
Yeah. So anyways, moving away from this, and this is a pretty good segue. Speaking of comic book movies in film and stuff, Martin Scorsese has a new movie coming out. Apparently, it just started filming. Y'all like that? That was really good.
It's not cinema.
Okay. It's called Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting because it's based off of a book.
It's adapted, yeah.
An adaptation of a nonfiction book. I can't remember what it's called. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, Killers of the Flower Moon. Oh, fantastic. This was a book that was written. I believe the guy who wrote it, David Gran, also did Lost City of Z. So you have a point of reference there.
What's that movie? What's that book that the Harry Potter movies are based off of?
Yeah, shut up. This was a book that was about the Osage County murders. To sum it up real quick, this is in Osage County, Oklahoma. There was the Osage County Native Americans that lived on their land they had rights to. Come to find out there's oil in it. Some rich tycoons are wanting that oil. The U.S. government at the time has given the Native Americans the full rights and profits to that oil, so to speak. And some of this I might be not quite correct on 100%, but I'm close.
From the legal side.
Yeah, from the legal side of it. They were given the legal profits to it, and some, again, big rich people were like, okay, well, we'll just start killing off the Native Americans. This was something that actually happened in the 1920s into the 1930s. This was one of the first cases that the FBI handled when they were first created.
Don't you just love U.S. history? It's so great.
Oh, yeah, we're just proud to... No.
Good Lord.
Anyways, so this is a movie. It's going to be starring Leo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Lily Gladstone, and Jesse Plemons. That's a pretty good cast. That's definitely a good, solid cast, a lot of whom are a lot of mainstays for Scorsese movies.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't... Have we seen a Scorsese movie that had both Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro in it at the same time?
Ooh, Schmodown. Here we go. I'm not thinking of one off the top of my head.
I can't think of one. So that's gonna be interesting.
Shutter Island.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Aviator. Nero wasn't an aviator. Nope.
I like Jesse Plemons. When you got Plemons, make Plemonade. Good job.
Okay. Garth gets a gold star for today.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh my gosh.
Vernon, gotta go film, guys. See you next time. Vernon is a fantastic member of our community. Much appreciated, Vernon. He's enjoying that hustle right now, doing after show content for the First Class League of the Schmodown. Y'all need to go check out his YouTube channel. It's a fan's view of the FCL. He's got a really good insight on how to ask questions and what he's trying to pull out of people that he's interviewing, and insights on, again, his fans' view of the FCL matches that we see. So thanks to Vernon, good content. Thank you for being part of this community. Have fun filming your video. I feel like I need to do a song and dance after that. I don't know.
I don't know if this will work. I don't really ever put links in there, but all right. Well, I don't know if that's going to end up clickable, but you guys have fun with that.
It is clickable. Yes.
Okay. Good. That's fans via the SCL, guys.
What does it go to? Oh, yeah. You might want to double check what that clicks to, because that might not be a website that we want to promote. Oh no, it is actually going to his. Never mind what I just said.
What? I literally just typed in Fansview SCL on YouTube and copied the link.
Just want to make sure. The last time you did that, just
look at my brother who doesn't trust me at all.
Anyways, what are your thoughts on this Scorsese movie?
I'm looking forward to this because at this point, anytime Scorsese comes out with a big production, especially in this instance, because this is one that he's been trying to get to filming. He's been trying to work on this one for a while. So anytime he's like super enthusiastic and passionate about a project and he gets it out there or he begins working on it, all of a sudden my interest in that project raises like tenfold, especially when you're working with a cast like DiCaprio and De Niro. De Niro,
anything else that's like D something.
Yeah, De Niro's a legend. DiCaprio is becoming one, and Jesse Plemons is showing why he's like somebody to be watching. Like his star has risen significantly since we first started seeing him on the scene. I like to go back to Game Night. That's one of Jesse Plemons' like best roles because of how his performance was in that. So
I think that was like the first thing I really like would recognize him from. Like ever since then, I've known who Jesse Plemons is, but I didn't know before that 100%. Movie.
I think that movie was like his breakout for general audiences. I know like he's been in like, I believe like TV shows and he's been in like movies and stuff before that, but that was kind of the one that everyone went, who's that guy? I like that guy. That guy was good. Kind of a thing.
I like, and now compare it to, was it Judas and the Black Messiah? Mm-hmm. His role in that was really good too.
Yeah, he was very intimidating in that, as well as
which is funny if you look back at his character from Game Night.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know if I should trust this guy. Garth brings up Plemons in Breaking Bad gave him nightmares. Yeah. So I mean that's how far back we're looking at Jesse Plemons. Anyway, enough about the Plemonade. The Plemonator. Anyway,
Plemonator.
I am very much looking forward to this movie. Again, like I said, anything that Scorsese puts out that he's super passionate about, I take very much interest in. And this story sounds like a really interesting one to put to that celluloid, essentially. So, technically, you still use celluloid.
I like Scorsese movie. Like most of the Scorsese movies that I really do enjoy are the ones that are not like mob gangster based.
Yeah.
Like Goodfellas was good. I was like, about the what?
You said Goodfellas was good.
Fellas. Yeah. I was kind of iffy about The Departed. Maybe I need to go back and watch it again.
Departed was good.
And I didn't mind. Irishman was pretty good. Like I enjoyed Irishman, even though it was really long. I did enjoy that movie. But the ones that I've really enjoyed by Scorsese were like, I love Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street is so good. Silence was really good. Even though it's not a movie that I would throw on for entertainment, I'm never going to be sitting going, man, I want to watch that movie Silence about, was it the Jesuit priests that?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm never going to sit there and say that.
You're not ready to sit through that movie that had breakneck speed pacing to it?
Oh, absolutely. It was a really good movie, though. I thought it was like amazing that was Scorsese that did that, because that's not what I would have expected out of him. But that one was really good. So this is again a movie that's not about gangster mobs.
Yeah,
like I feel like I'm going to enjoy this.
And I get you on the other side of that. I mean, like Aviator, I really enjoy Aviator. I thought Aviator was fantastic. Hugo, his like first foray into a family film. Hugo is amazing. And despite for some reason people giving it a hard time, I absolutely love Shutter Island. I thought Shutter Island was an excellent film. I know a lot of people out there going, I saw the twist coming from a mile away. And to those people I go, then you're not paying attention to the real twist of the movie, which was in the last line of the movie. Go back and watch the movie again.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get on a high horse about Shutter Island. I'm tired of people complaining about that movie.
I'm gonna get you an actual soapbox crate, and I'm gonna write Shutter Island on it, and that's gonna be sitting on the floor behind you, kind of like where your backpack bag is down there on the floor. I'm just gonna put that box down there.
What would be nice is if I actually go back there and I step on it to get on the Shutter Island soapbox,
yeah.
and then my head just goes off frame.
Yeah, because of the framing, your head's off, so all we see is your torso, and your hands are like, but Shutter Island.
Listen, guys. Shutter Island is a fantastic film, and I will not hear anything other.
I've gotten up out of this chair way too much.
That's how we should do like all movie reviews. Anytime we have to do a movie review that we enjoyed the movie, even though like the popular opinion or the critics don't like it, that's how we're gonna do it. We'll just do the soapbox version of it.
Yeah, we'll start working on our Lewis Black hands.
Yeah, exactly. God, that guy talks with his hands more than a person fluent in sign language. Good Lord.
Wow.
No, seriously, you've seen how much Lewis Black moves his hands when he talks? Like, good Lord. Anyways, moving on to other, speaking of Oscar winners and other forms of cinema, apparently Olivia Colman and Emilia Clarke are going to be joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, I did that on purpose.
First of all, so right off the top, I believe Emilia Clarke was confirmed today. Olivia Colman, I believe they just used the terms in talks, which apparently I think at this point means as hang in there. She'll be confirmed. First of all, I have no idea what roles they're playing. I mean, we're looking at situations where, you know, who's going to be playing a Skrull and someone who's part of the Skrull hierarchy, who's going to be playing, you know, an agent, who's going to be playing some kind of superhero role. I don't know. I honestly, like, there's only so much that I could probably gather from what the show's even going to be about. Even if we go back to the Secret Invasion storyline in the comics, this is going to be definitely different than that storyline for sure.
Yeah. Because that storyline effectively had spanned like essentially decades.
Yeah,
like there were Skrull planter moles for decades before the main storyline took. This is kind of the equivalent of Captain America: The Winter Soldier, where Hydra was a part of Shield for decades before, and then it's this one episode. Boom! Here's where the main story is.
Now
that's what's going to happen with this.
In MCU years, I mean, we could have a situation where some of these Skrulls have been, you know, planted since Captain Marvel back in the 90s, which is decades at this point. But what does that look like? Are any of the heroes that we've known up to this point, have they been Skrulls this entire time? I wouldn't think that they would do that. I don't think they're going to turn around and be like, oh yeah, Steve Rogers was a Skrull this entire time. We're not going to see that kind of a situation happen. But you know, what does that mean for like other individuals who've been part of the MCU? I don't know. It's really interesting to see what happens. But regardless, they got Olivia Colman and Emilia Clarke in here, and I think it's
pretty big names.
I think it's going to show you that Marvel's taking these shows just as seriously as their movies. Like, this isn't all right, we got our big MCU movies, it's coming out in the theaters, yeah, get excited, and we got this funny little show over here you can watch in your own time, don't worry about it. No, WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, if anything, those two shows have shown us that there's just as much conversation, if not maybe more, to be had over what Marvel is doing in TV now than what they're doing movie-wise. Now, granted, we haven't had a Marvel MCU movie for over a year now, over a year and a half or so. But that's beside the point. The point is, this casting tells me they're taking their shows seriously, because these are two big names that I'm excited to see kind of join in the MCU and see what role they play, if they are going beyond the show or if they're going to pop into movies too.
Yeah. Yeah, so interested about that. Now, I guess I haven't really read up anything about this, so I'm just reading this like news headline, and I'm like, this is interesting. So maybe you read up more about this, and you have something to deep dive into it. I guess it was reported, or it's rumored, or someone is hoping that Wyatt Russell is going to portray Snake Plissken in another Escape from movie.
Yeah. So
this freaking guy again.
This friggin' guy. Look at this guy.
This freaking guy.
Look at that friggin' guy. He's got just his father's got more 5 o'clock shadow than him still. But anyway, this friggin' guy has smug look on his face. No, he was asked. I don't believe that there was any kind of, as far as I know, I don't think there's another Escape from movie necessarily being in the works right now, or if there is, he was asked, would you be willing to play Snake Plissken? Would you be willing to step in your father's footsteps and play that role?
So it's not something that John Carpenter is focused on right now.
Right,
is what it sounds like.
To which Wyatt Russell responded, "Hell no." No, he didn't say that exactly word for word, but he basically said, "Nah, I'm good. I don't need to do that. That's, effectively career suicide for me. There's no."
You might be good at that,
right? Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you want. You want to portray a role that apparently everybody hates the character, and then you want to go from that to just playing the same character your father played. No, I get it. I understand why he doesn't want to take up that role. He basically said, "No, I'm not going to do that. That's not a good career move for me," essentially. And I understand. Like, are you going to spend any considerable amount of time in your life as an established actor in your own right? You fought and worked hard for your own, to be able to have your own roles and to be taken seriously as an actor yourself, just to spend any amount of that time reprising a role that your father did when he was in his prime. He technically still is, but when he was in his prime, back in the day. No, I wouldn't do that either. I completely understand where he's coming from on that. I want to see Wyatt Russell do his own roles. I want to see him take on his own roles and create his own iconic characters. I don't want to necessarily see him play an iconic character that his dad did. I understand why. I mean, he's basically like the spitting image of his dad, but
with a little bit of a hint of Goldie Hawn in there, it looks like.
Oh, just a small bit of Goldie Hawn in there, just a small bit.
A chromosome or two, or
yeah, exactly. Just a little bit of DNA. But yeah, no, I get it. I understand. I think for him, that sounds like the right move. It sounds like the right choice. So,
yeah, I could see that.
It's a fascinating development, though, because who would you get to play Snake Plissken if not somebody who looks like a younger Kurt Russell?
What's his face?
Garrett Hedlund. You're right. All right, moving on.
Oh, that actually is a good one. Yeah, I'll go with that one.
Just pulled that name out of my butt.
Yeah, they still have a Big Trouble Little China sequel in the work. I mean, that would probably be even better if they would have played it like he's Jack's son as well. So,
but even
then that would make sense.
It would make sense. It would, but that might even still be too much. I get it. I don't necessarily know if I want to do that. I don't, do you want to attach your career to your father's career like that? I get it.
So I guess there was an interview with. I just love how almost all these news stories are somehow connected to comic book franchises, whether that's the news or not. But this time it happens to be the news.
Wait! Breaking news! Wyatt Russell has agreed to do a Sky High sequel.
Nice. He's the son of Kurt Russell's character. So I guess Alfred Molina did an interview or something where he was talking about how they're having to de-age him for
straight up not caring about his NDA whatsoever, and I love it.
Yeah.
So good.
So yeah, apparently he is confirming, or he's completely misleading all of us. And again, Marvel is just so big that they could get people to do this for funsies. That he is playing Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man: No Way Home, coming out this December, and that he was talking about how he had to get de-aged back to how he looked in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. This was an interesting conversation because it's true. Like in that he brings up, it's been about 17 years since he played Doc Ock. And in 17 years time, he's aged a little bit. He's gotten older.
17 years.
Yeah, probably exactly right on the money. And in 17 years, your body changes. No matter what decade to what decade, your body changes in 17 years.
I know my first 17 years it did. Anywho.
Big facts. Big facts. So yeah, he said 17 in the article. So I'm going based on what Alfred Molina said in the article. Anyway. It's been a while. Regardless, he's not in the same physical condition that he was back in Spider-Man 2. And it's very interesting to me because I love what he brings up here. Because he is bringing up the de-aging process first. And his worry about the de-aging process is because he referenced Robert De Niro in The Irishman, and he said, hey, they made him look younger. They did a good job at that. He physically looked younger until he started moving and having to, beat up a guy or something. And then it's like, oh no, that's definitely still an older gentleman who doesn't move like he used to when he was younger. So this is something that he said he was worried about, that playing Doc Ock again, I'm worried that I'm not going to, you might be able to make me younger, but I'm not going to move like I used to back then. And then he thought about it and he said, well, you know what? Doc Ock doesn't move a whole lot. It's the tentacles that do all the work for me. I just have to. I love the article? He says all I have to do is just this move.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say I'm imagining like him at that bank scene. Like if his tentacles aren't lifting him up off the ground, he was standing there on the floor and he did this while like the tentacle shot out, and then this. Because the other tentacle would shoot up. That's all he has to do. Just you could do that. I mean, now if you can't do it that fast in the speed it takes a tentacle to shoot out, then they just might need to speed ramp that in editing. But it's possible.
I like this. Rachel brings up a good point. Michael Douglas in Endgame moved pretty well. He ran off frame very quickly. It's true. Quick little movements like that I think are fine, but if you're trying to have someone like beat up another person, it's kind of obvious. And then Garth, do they have to de-age the tentacles too? Well, here's the thing. Last we saw him, he was floating in a river sinking down in the river there, and the tentacles are made of metal, so they probably gained some rust. So yeah, they probably have to de-rust at least the tentacles. Is that the same as de-aging? I don't know. It was a stupid joke. Anyway, this sounds interesting to me because he's basically saying, oh yeah, I'm in the Spider-Man 3 movie that's coming out. Which Zendaya has said something to that effect before, saying something to the effect of I've worked with Alfred Molina on this movie. It was a great experience. But he's basically confirming himself, like, yeah, I'm in this movie. I'm portraying Doc Ock again. Which
I'm so curious as to what the storyline is. Like, I'm eager to find out. Like, this movie has my curiosity like at full tilt. Like, I just want to know something about this movie. That first trailer, I cannot wait for.
Yeah, especially because it sounds like the conversation that he had. Shoot, I always forget the director's name. It's not Mark Webb.
Sam Raimi?
No.
John Watts.
John Watts. There he goes. The conversation that he had with John Watts You know, sometimes guys, you just got to own it on camera. Just go with it. The conversation he was having with John Watts is that this basically takes place after the events for him in Spider-Man 2. So this is picking up Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2. He's not playing a new Doc Ock. This is the same Doc Ock that we saw back in Raimi's Spider-Man 2.
So he's a dead body laying on a gurney. His body's all swollen, full of water. And
nope. No, because it's a comic book. You don't actually die.
Oh, that's right.
Well, some people might, but and that's the other thing is he a Skrull? Who knows? Who knows what they're doing? We'll all find out though by December, and that's going to be interesting to see. But regardless, the new storyline here is Alfred Molina gives 2 craps about Marvel's NDAs. Alfred Molina taken out by Marvel snipers.
Yeah, it's like this is the worst thing since Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo.
He doesn't even care. Like Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo at least thought that they were hiding.
Like, oops, am I in trouble? Well, maybe.
Did you know you weren't supposed to say that? I wasn't.
I don't care. Those a scroll. Yeah. Next Marvel villain, Mads Mikkelsen, is joining Indiana Jones 5. Is he going to be a villain in this? Probably. That's all he usually ever plays.
Except for his time in Star Wars.
Yeah.
But even then, he did something villainous, which was help create the Death Star. But it's okay. He made the shaft, and I didn't want to use that word. He made the part of the Death Star that helps it explode. No, I'm into this. Because, first of all, we know Mads Mikkelsen plays a good villain.
Yeah.
Plenty of experience. But I can easily envision him as a villain in an Indiana Jones movie. Yes, you have thoughts.
Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking at this point, the real villain of Indiana Jones 5 is probably going to be a walker or a wheelchair or something for Indy that it's going to be sitting up out of bed.
That wasn't my thought about what you were going to say. I thought you were going to say the real villain of the Indiana Jones franchise is Steven Spielberg for keeping this thing going beyond.
That's the next one after the old age of Harrison Ford. That and landing airplanes.
Oof. Oof. Here's the thing, though. Mads Mikkelsen being a part of this gets me excited for it. And then I think about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and I get a little bit less excited. But then I think about James Mangold is the one who's going to be directing this, and I get excited again. I think I'm just going to stick with I'm excited for this movie. And if it turns out to be a disappointment, then I'm just going to throw my hands up in the air and go, well, it's Kingdom of the Crystal Skull told me this was going to happen. So,
yeah. I have not seen Kingdom of the Crystal Skull yet. I will eventually probably have to watch it. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm probably going to possibly do it on the next April the 20th, if you know what I mean. Because that might be the only way to be able to fully imbibe that movie.
And he's not necessarily saying it's going to take him a year to watch it. He's going to potentially have an April the 20th on his own, June the 18th
is the new April 20th. No, I actually did mean it will probably take me a year to watch it.
I mean, that's fair. But regardless,
can you de-age him and run fast enough?
I mean, Harrison Ford's active enough, right? You can probably de-age him a little bit and probably get away with it. But just don't have him do any big movements. Don't have him swing with monkeys or anything.
Or interact with dogs.
No, I'm into this though. Mads Mikkelsen is trustworthy. He always puts on a good performance no matter what he's doing. I can't think of a single thing I've seen him in that went, you know what? This movie would be a lot better without Mads Mikkelsen. And I'm even going as far as to say Doctor Strange, his villain role wasn't that big of a deal. He wasn't that huge or intimidating of a villain, but that movie would. Yeah, that movie would not be better without him.
He had pieces. There were different, like whether it's lines or certain sequences in that movie that I thought he did fantastic in.
Yeah.
His whole back and forth with Doctor Strange, where he's like Mister, he's like Strange. Actually, I'm a doctor. He's like Doctor Mister. Yeah, Mister Doctor. Like it's strange. Yeah, it might be, but who am I to judge? Like that was a nice little bit of dialogue that I completely butchered. But like
Doctor?
I like that. That was great because we had only seen his character like in the trailers with like the CGI makeup eyes and stuff, and that didn't look like what his character would do. That wasn't the personality that I got from watching the trailer. So when seeing him in that movie do like dialogue and stuff like that, I thought it was great.
Yeah,
subverted my expectations.
Yeah, so suffice it to say, anything he does, I'm gonna be kind of interested in it in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So. Especially this. Let's see how he does here. Speaking of, I don't know. You do it. I got nothing.
I don't know. Speaking of other Marvel characters making a movie, and then that movie is getting remade for some weird reason, Vin Diesel wants to do a movie about the Rock'em Sock'em robots. And I could have sworn this was the movie that Hugh Jackman, who played Wolverine in Marvel movies, made when he did that movie. Was it Real Steel?
Real Steel, which was actually a good movie.
Yeah, but I mean that looked like basically the live action version of Rock'em Sock'em robots. So what is this?
It effectively was. I have no idea. I just found out about this also.
Rock'em Sock'em robots, yeah. They're so fun looking.
I'll say I feel like I've seen them in a movie. Was it like a Toy Story?
Probably.
I think I probably saw them like on a Toy Story or something. But how do you make a movie out of this? I mean, obviously, you could go, well, Real Steel, but I see a red robot and a blue robot, and they punch each other, and you play the game until one of their heads is or whatever. And then it's like, oh,
however your head goes. I mean, just saying.
Yeah, no judgment here. Your head could go for all I care, and that
was the same sound.
Yeah, but I did something different with my head.
Oh, okay.
What do we think the storyline looks like here?
One robot fighting for the security of all the other robots in the world. He's pitted up against the evil robot, and now he has to rock him. He has to sock him. He has to punch his lights out. Can one robot succeed?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I am a robot again. Sylvester Stallone. Hey, I'm a robot. Yeah, watch me rock him and sock him, eh? And Vin Diesel. Family. It's kind of the same voice, It's not really much different between Vin Diesel's voice and the movie trailer announcer guy. Anyways, that joke's getting dumb.
Robots.
Rock'em Sock'em robots coming soon to a TV or laptop or cell phone near you because we're still in the pandemic-ish. Anyways, I don't know what that movie could be. Like, when I first read this headline, I originally thought like this actually is Real Steel. That was exactly what Real Steel was. How are you going to make this movie and not immediately people are going to go, that's Real Steel? Yeah, make it Real Steel too.
I mean, even if Hugh Jackman doesn't want to be a part of it, it's fine. Real Steel sequels then feature new cast members in the same kind of environment and world. You have Vin Diesel taking over for the Hugh Jackman role, essentially.
And then you do the third one, and replacing Vin Diesel will be Ice Cube. That's the way it works.
Real Steel, State of the Union.
Yeah.
So
we're rocking them, socking them in Congress. This video just got flagged, and the FBI are going to be reviewing this. And they're going to be like, these guys are dumb. By the way, FBI, while you're watching this, make sure to drop us a like and a subscribe. Join our Patreon.
Pick a tier that's right for you. Anyway. Yeah. I mean, I can see a world where this storyline is alien, like Transformers kind of a situation. I can see, like another same old. It's like Red robot, you've been chosen for the robot competition.
Why's it got to be the red robot?
I don't know. I just picked one of them. It's a long-standing traditional competition where fighters are chosen. They all enter the ring, and one of them is going to survive. You might have heard this in Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat or any other movie based off of people fighting, but we're going to do it with robots this time.
One bot in, no way out.
You think Vin Diesel's actually doing the voice of one of the robots?
Probably, and it's going to sound a lot like this because Corona's in family.
Family. Ride or die.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I don't know what it's kind of funny. The thing I used to defend this though is like there's a much better storyline I figured they could come up with here than they did with like Battleship or they're supposed to be making a movie about the Magic 8-Ball. That toy that you shake that has blue fluid that never drink the blue fluid, by the way, guys.
I'm pretty sure they're still working on Monopoly.
Yeah, like, what's the Monopoly one going to be? Rich Uncle Pennybags is buying all the properties all over the place. Cool.
The biggest one I was worried about was Tetris until they turned around and said it was more of like a biopic of the creation of Tetris and all that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, because that one was
like...
What was
like
that?
Alien invading blocks or whatever coming down.
Yeah, what was that Adam Sandler movie that was that?
Pixels?
Yeah, that's basically what Pixels was. In fact, I think at one point they actually did like bombard Earth with pieces of Tetris.
Yeah.
But they didn't give us the straight piece. We never get the straight piece when we need the straight piece.
I could clear 5 rows right now if I got the straight piece.
Yeah, you could. Sounds like a phrasing joke somewhere, but yeah, not really. I wouldn't say like officially a Battleship movie.
I mean, there's a movie with battleships in them, and it's called Battleship, and I believe the logo looks sort of similar to the logo for the game.
I believe it was produced by Hasbro, so.
But that's I think about as much as it connects. I mean, probably I think I never honestly I never saw it, and I'm pretty sure. So I'm guessing that someone at some point in the movie said, "You sank my battleship." I assume
it's probably Rihanna.
Yeah, Liam Neeson. Anyway, speaking of, well, I mean, this one's obvious.
Speaking of Vin Diesel, let's move on to our main topic:
dinosaurs. Oh,
yeah. So what was it they were talking about this week? So we got another trailer for Fast and Furious 9 or F9 or whatever you want to call it at this point.
I want to pull up the actual quote here, but continue.
So there was talk into like how the other movies, because I believe they're talking about still making a 10th and an 11th movie in the Fast and Furious franchise. Yeah. Obviously, there's always been the joke of like, well, I guess the only thing left to do now is go to outer space. And the trailer that we got for this one is kind of hinted like, that might actually be what they're doing in this. Because they had essentially a car falling out of the sky with Tyrese in it, losing his mind again. But then they turned on some rocket thrusters and it just woofed up to the great beyond. That's usually a phrase meant when someone dies. So let me rephrase that. They moved up to the sky and beyond.
It looks like they're like moving into the atmosphere between the atmosphere, space and Earth and all that.
Yeah.
They talk about like they're going to space. I'm not 100% certain they are actually like full on really going to space. I think they're kind of hinting at it and playing around with it like it's a meme of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
I know like they've said like, yeah, we're going to space at the end of this one. I think that's the same as anybody else on like a Marvel project who loosely hints at events that happen in a movie and they're kind of, what is it? Paul Bettany during WandaVision. I get to work with an actor I've always wanted to work with my entire life. I'm looking forward to working with this person. It's going to be a ton of fun. He was talking about working with himself. And so I think this honestly might be the situation that we have right here with this movie. Like, yeah, we're going to space. By space, you mean just slightly above
the clouds,
above the clouds, and like barely in Earth's atmosphere type of situation. I don't think we're actually going to be like, oh, Fast and Furious crew's going to the moon.
Yeah. So they continued it off in like a joking fashion that like if this movie goes to space, then the next movie needs to be a time travel movie. The movie after that needs to be a multiverse movie. And that's where we got into the idea of the multiverse potentially of that this movie, the Fast and Furious franchise, could cross over with the Jurassic Park franchise. I don't know why. And like I made a joke about it somewhere when typing up like the social media or whatever for this is like probably the dumbest idea of a crossover since they were talking about doing a 21 Jump Street MIB crossover. That one was dumb. I don't know why anyone thought that would be a thing.
But yeah, that it's dumb, but at the same time, you would have still watched it for sure. I would have still watched it.
I would have not have. I guarantee you, my hopes would not be high for that, and my hopes would not be high for this. Mainly because Jurassic Park lately, with the Jurassic World movies, that last one was really bad, and I'm kind of leery about this next one.
I'll put a positive spin on this. The Jurassic World movies, I've not really enjoyed it until like the last couple minutes of Fallen Kingdom. The last couple minutes of Fallen Kingdom where you see the dinosaurs make their way out into the human world, the mainland, you know, where we all exist and live day to day. That is what I'm into. That is what I want to see. And it took them almost 2 complete movies to get there. They already played around with the idea loosely in Lost World, but they didn't really like commit to the idea. And it looks like that's what's going to happen in the next one. I'm into that. What I'm not necessarily into is this notion that the Fast and Furious movies make any sense to mix with Jurassic Park. Look, I get. So first of all, when we talk about Fast and Furious, science is already going to be damned because physics and everything are kind of a little bit out the window with those movies.
Well, how convenient. So is the Jurassic Park series.
Yes, but in different ways. And those 2 ways do not make sense to mesh. For all intents and purposes, Fast and Furious still exists in what feels like a real world. I feel so weird saying that, but right now it doesn't feel like we could bring dinosaurs back. Maybe that science does exist. I don't know, but
Elon Musk begs to differ.
Yeah, and I mean, cloning and all that aside, if you can find some DNA and kind of figure out a way to bring that DNA to life, then you have kind of a situation there. I don't understand science, but within Fast and Furious, we're talking about just physics. We're talking about grandiose stunts. Everything else about that seems to exist in a real world type setting. I mean, we're coming from, you know, street racing and heists and all that to apparently superpowered magnets and cars swinging on ropes now. I don't know, but it doesn't feel like these 2 franchises can mesh in my head. It just doesn't make sense. So I got the quote pulled up here. Was it from Justin Lin? He said he was asked if there could ever be a crossover between those 2 franchises, which who asked him that and why? First of all, who came up with the idea to ask Justin Lin, will there ever be a crossover between Jurassic Park and Fast and Furious? Like,
were we all wondering that? I wasn't wondering that.
I wasn't wondering that either. Like, why didn't you pull out like Citizen Kane? Is there going to be a crossover between Citizen Kane and Fast and Furious? Like, what made you pick Jurassic Park?
I'd probably go back and watch Citizen Kane again.
Right? You know, there's a myriad of movies out there that you can pick from. You picked Jurassic Park. Okay, sounds good. He said, Justin Lin responded, well, I've never said never to anything. And the fact that part of our philosophy is not to ever be boxed in or labeled, and that's all I will say. They're not going to cross over. Justin Lin just wanted to put something out there essentially to state, look, we're going to do what we want to do with these movies, and we're not going to be told what to do with them. We're just going to have fun making them. the last couple movies that we're going to do in this franchise. Look, I'm down. So
Triple X.
Nice.
This one I actually would be interested in. The Fast and Furious. Garth is on top of it tonight, y'all. I'm just saying.
Now, yes, that's actually the crossover I want to see. I want to see Muppets crossover with pretty much every big franchise, always.
Except the 50 Shades of Grey. Y'all could probably skip that one.
I said big franchise.
I mean, that was a big franchise.
It made money. Yeah, damn it. Hey, I don't want to see that.
Hey, Miss Piggy, do you want to visit the Red Room? Why, yes, Kermie. Make that noise again.
We're Sweetums. Bring Sweetums. 50 Shades of Green.
There's a role for Swedish Chef in here still, I'm sure. Stripsky goes around the brisky. Thrusty rusty.
The thrusty rusty. The rusty thrusty, huh?
The thrusty wusty. Anyway,
good lord.
There's
We
a
could
t-shirt.
actually, now that you brought that up, we could probably spend an entire tagline episode just talking about what movies crossed over with Muppets would sound, what they would all sound like.
I don't know. Y'all send off in the chat. How many of y'all would actually watch that? I don't think that we'd get anybody to watch that, but I would sure as hell have fun doing that.
That might be that might be a recurring video that we do instead of like a pitch meeting or how it should have ended or whatever.
I know how we get people to watch that. We ask Bibiani to be a part of it. Because that right there, that would be fun. Because Bibiani has thought about all the different franchises that he would love to see the Muppets tackle.
Yeah.
Safety phrase. Safety phrase is Urka Durka do. You put the turkey in the bricky.
Okay. I'm sorry. Did you say Urka Durka do? Because if you did, I'll stop. But if not, I'll continue.
Keep in mind, you signed the contract.
You signed the contract.
Anyway.
Good Lord.
So yeah, Jurassic Park and Fast and Furious.
This isn't even worth talking about anymore. I want to go back to the Swedish Chef and 50 Shades of Grey. That's a better topic than our main topic. Why, Garth? Where were you when I was trying to figure out what to stick on the thumbnail tonight? Because I would have stuck. No, maybe not.
No. This worked out.
Swedish Chef with Christian Grey in the Red Room. People would click on that thumbnail just to click on it.
Swedish Chef preparing a pig with an apple in its mouth, and he's also got an apple in his mouth, and the whole. Anyway.
Oh God. This channel's getting dangerously close to not being family friendly anymore, y'all.
Kids, it's just a fun game that some adults like to play sometimes. Don't worry about it. You'll understand someday later, maybe.
We're going to end up like the third Linkin Park album. We're like, oh, well, you thought we're family friendly. We're going to start saying these words now and stick the parental advisory label on us. And speaking of talking about Linkin Park, that's next week.
Right.
Over on the Pajukin, Wednesday night. Check that out. Anyways.
A blindfolded Miss Piggy in the thumbnail would have brought more views. You live and learn, and then you
get loves.
Do Miss Piggy in bondage for your thumbnails, apparently. Again, kids, it's a game that some adults like to play. I'm not going to take the time to explain it to you because I'm the wrong person to do that. And you can come back now.
No, I'm going to go back and restart Rad Movies Now on my own YouTube channel.
Nobody knows.
You can have fun with this.
Let's have it.
I'm going to go back and restart Rad Movies Now. That's awesome. There's a throwback.
Throwback nobody asked for.
Yeah.
Radical.
Rad Movies.
That being said, I'm not in the least bit interested. This is one of those situations where I'm not in the least bit interested in seeing Fast and Furious mixed with Jurassic Park. I'll watch it if it happens. It's not going to happen, but I'll watch it if it does, and I'll probably hate it. but
it
also
will make
love
a
it.
great 420 movie, though. I'm just saying.
And we brought it back.
Happy 420, everybody.
It
Please
actually
enjoy.
would.
Please imbibe responsibly. Make sure you get a ride home, Uber, Lyft.
Yeah.
Any
Sure.
of those.
Yep. But
I will be spending the rest of the night watching Pink Floyd's The Wall.
are you doing acid?
No.
You tripping?
Maybe. Anyways.
Exactly.
I believe that's
We're going to
it.
be wrapping this up.
Yep, that's our movie. That's our movie news for tonight, y'all. So, yeah.
Drop some comments, drop some questions, whatever in the chat as we start wrapping up here. Anything you want to get in there, ask about? I know we got some stuff coming up that's worth asking about for sure.
Yep.
Which we will dive into more details as we are literally allowed to do so. Until then, be happy with teases. Let's say it's probably FCL generated, but anyway.
They could do a triple X crossover with Xander Cage being. See, that one would make sense though, because that
Not anymore.
Xander Cage and well, if they hadn't already introduced the brother element in this next one, but Xander Cage and Dominic Toretto are almost the same person. I mean, they are the same person, but
they look exactly alike.
Yeah, they also need to go get what's his face from Bloodshot.
I'm more interested in Fast and Furious crossing over with Guardians of the Galaxy.
That could be interesting. Might be a little weird when Star-Lord sees Mr. Nobody. Might cause a little confusion there.
Death on sight. Done. I thought I got rid of you. I was thinking more of I'm Dom, I am Groot kind of a situation.
Yeah.
We are Groot. No, we are family kind of a thing.
That's funny.
But
Anyways,
let's wrap this nonsense up
in stereo. Chris, tell the good people about the stuff that's on our show notes here that is allocated for you to talk about.
Guys, we got a Patreon. If you want to give money to this stupid you can go over to patreon.com/cinefanatics where we do all sorts of fun stuff. We are doing movie nights. We're doing watch along. We're doing trivia nights. We're doing all sorts of bonus exclusive content over there. Like I said before, we're doing FCL matches this year. It's the First Class League and the Movie Trivia Schmodown. So what's going on there is that we are doing trivia nights. So you can come help us study, come help us be geared up and ready to go for our fight in the FCL, each one of us individually, because apparently we can't be a team. Who knew? But on top of that, whenever we do have our matches, we like to do watch-alongs to our matches, kind of give you our thought processes during the match. And for those of you who help us train, that's kind of hopefully it's a reward for you in order to kind of get our thoughts, our exclusive thoughts behind the scenes of those. So that's some of the fun stuff that you can do at that tier. We're doing movie watch-alongs. I know we've got one coming up, I believe, tomorrow. And that is for Thor. It's our next movie along our MCU watch-alongs that we've been slowly getting through since we've started watch-alongs. But this one, we have Kelsey Kirkland from C2A from Call to Action joining us on this one because she is a big Tom Hiddleston fan. And so she's got a lot of insight into the Hiddleverse for us. I made that up. As we're watching along with Thor. So it's going to be a ton of fun. That's at the dude tier. So you're going to want to jump on the dude tier and join us tomorrow night. Again, we got the Discord on Patreon too. So $1 gets you access to the Discord. Come hang out with us. Talk to us about movies and stuff in the Discord. It's a ton of fun.
Watch along is tomorrow night at 9 Central. So 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern.
Yeah.
And the movie is streaming on Disney Plus for those of y'all who are wondering where the movie is to watch to join us with. So
I like this movie. Another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter at CineFanaticsMLP. There is Robert Adams MLP on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Chris Adams MLP at Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd.
Yep.
And if there's no other comments, let's go ahead and end this show. So thank y'all for being in the chat tonight. Thank y'all for joining us. This has been a very fun episode. I really like. I'm going to be expanding on this Muppets idea. This is a really good idea, and it can be a lot of fun. So we'll think of something for funsies later. Anyways,
sorry, what was that again?
The what?
What was that word again?
For funsies?
Are you 12?
I like saying funsies. It's what they say on Scrubs. Everyone quotes The Office and Parks and Rec all the time. I quote Scrubs, and everyone's like, "Oh, are you a kid?" No, I like Scrubs.
Look, Felicia, help me help you. Help me help you. Help me to help you.
Thank you. Anyways, thank y'all for being in the chat for this fun, delightful show. It's been a blast. Make sure y'all drop us a like if you are watching this. Give this video a like. Also, comment down below if you're watching this on a replay. And then also, again, make sure you share us with your friends and family so they can all discover the amazingness of the Cinefanatics.
We got a couple of other things I want to drop in real quick before we do the full-on subscribe and everything to end it with. We got other stuff coming up here pretty soon, guys, to keep in mind. We are going to mention these on this Friday as well when we're doing the Falcon and Winter Soldier breakdown. As you know, Disney Plus is going to be pumping out a bunch of other shows, like The Bad Batch is coming up this next month. We will be doing a breakdown, and by we, I mean me and hopefully some other special guests. We'll be doing breakdowns of each of those episodes. You should stay tuned to social media to find out who that special guest will be, giving you a little tease there. But we'll be doing breakdowns of the Bad Batch episodes, as well as when Loki starts, we will be doing breakdowns of Loki as well. So that's all stuff to look forward to there. And then for me personally, there is a date. There is a date, guys. I have decided. I have sealed it. It's going to happen. April 30th.
Sorry, I got twitchy for a bit. Yeah.
April 30th. You can join me on Twitch. You guys are hearing it first. I have not pumped this out on social media yet. Over the course of the next week and a half, you will start seeing some promotion for my first ever Twitch stream. So join me on Twitch on April 30th. I'm beginning the rad adventure. You got rad stuck in my head. I'm beginning the rad adventure on Twitch, streaming and having some fun over there and building the Twitch community. So that's going to be a ton of fun, but I just want to drop that in there.
You can't take rad. You have to go with CAD.
I'm going to be doing the gnarly adventure over on Twitch.
Yeah, well, anyways, and that's what we're going to be doing. Chris is going to be playing Pong, so
I'm not playing Pong.
Anyways, watching twitchy Chris over there on Twitch is going to be a lot of fun, whatever your name is on that thing.
It's literally just my name.
Oh, Chris Adams?
Yeah.
So there's like a ton of Chris Adams over on Twitch. Guys, if y'all if you enjoy watching people play games on Twitch, the stuff he's going to be doing is going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. And go subscribe or follow or whatever you do on Twitch, go do that over on his channel. I only know YouTube, which YouTube, all you got to do is subscribe. Hit the subscribe button for this video down below. That would be fantastic. You'll be subscribed to us, and that helps us out on the YouTube algorithm. Anyways, that's going to be it for tonight, y'all. You good? We waiting for anything else?
I'm grabbing a link real quick.
Okay.
Link
incoming.
Boom. Ba-chow.
There you go. All y'all click on that and just hit follow or subscribe or stalk. I don't know what you do over there.
You really don't know Twitch. Yeah, you can't sub to me yet because I don't have all the things necessary to be an affiliate. But you can hit follow. If we get some follow. If we hit some follows on there before I even get started, we're going to be starting off on the right foot on Twitch, and that's what I like to see. So it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. So head over there, hit the follow, do me a favor, and let's close this thing out.
Yep. Thank y'all for being here tonight. It's been a blast. We will see y'all hopefully tomorrow night for the Thor watch along. Y'all hop on that Patreon, join the $5 dude tier. We will see you tomorrow night. Until then, as for the chat, as for myself, as for my brother, I don't know why I say as for the chat. Y'all are all having a good night also. All of us, let's all just have a good evening, okay? Bye.